Hello, my name is Andrea Gallegos. This is my multimodal presentation on the topic for ecology discourse of UTRGV. What is an ecology discourse? A place defined by a network of myriad, interconnected, and almost inseparable elements that all shape the rhetorical interaction and meaning that emerges from them. So, then what makes UTRGV a discourse ecology? The relationships that make UTRGV a discourse ecology are the interconnected student interactions. For example, an institution where multiple authors contribute and are part of a single network within an environment, meaning UTRGV, the students and faculty are the authors that make this environment work. So the elements in this presentation that are chosen with a purpose to show how this presentation is in UTRGV playing an important role in the making of UTRGV students' interactions. It is a discourse ecology through a network of interactions where the students are basically the main authors, like I said. Group ideas for UTRGV's discourse ecology. So, as a group, we were asked to show how Edinburgh and Brownsville branches are different and how students feel about it. For example, Brownsville campus being close to Mexico and Edinburgh campus with more variety of classes. So let me show you the original map that we did in groups. This is the original map. As you can see, we were only focusing on the differences between Brownsville campus and the Edinburgh campus. However, I expanded this idea to show the interconnectedness between the individuals that ultimately make the identity of UTRGV. We can see it here. Both branches are different, so students need to commute on a regular basis. So my idea, like I said, as I was expanding my idea, the students make the UTRGV network. Each UTRGV branch is different, so it contributes to UTRGV's uniqueness. It makes an inseparable network. Although each branch is different, the institution remains the same. So the rhetorical interactions shape and give meaning to UTRGV students are then vital for the network to keep active. Examples of how UTRGV is an ecology discourse. Edinburgh has more various student activities. Brownsville is closer to Mexico, so students that are living in Mexico or have family in Mexico can always stay connected. Both branches, however, share students, and therefore they share the same institutional pride. The heart of the ecology or the network are the students. They are the basis of UTRGV's uniqueness, and they make the ecology active. So, since I wanted to find out how these interactions work out to make a network, I considered the following elements that constitute the main aspects of UTRGV student life and experiences in the institution. For example, academics, student life, interaction of Brownsville and Edinburgh campus, and the most important, students' opinions about how both campuses interact. The first question of my survey, therefore, was which opinion best describes your describes your opinion about UTRGV. So based on a survey of 50 students from UTRGV, the main opinions are that overall students enjoy the university. However, a considerable portion of the sample considers that there should be changes to improve the overall student satisfaction. We can see this, that most of the students enjoy UTRGV, but still there are some improvements to be done. The second question, which campus do you prefer? As you can see, the graphs are the same, so there is equal preference. It shows duality of the university. It gives students options to choose a campus that best suits their needs. We can see this in the following response, which is question number 3. Why do you prefer that campus? This was an open-ended question. For Brownsville, common responses were a closeness to family and home, interestingly, some other common responses were that the campus is nice, meaning that it's less crowded and there are more green areas. And therefore, most of the students prefer the Brownsville campus because they don't like to commute to Edinburgh. The responses in the great majority reflect that the campus satisfies or meets the need for students to stay close to home. As like I said, the interesting responses here is that they like the campus because it's nice. That's good. And following for the Edinburgh's common responses were also that they are also close to home and there are more classes offered. This allows more academic diversity, and therefore, since there are more classes offered, it's a bigger campus. For question number 4, which of the following best defines the Brownsville campus when it comes to student involvement? The two main aspects to point out here is that there are plenty of opportunities to get involved with organizations at the Brownsville campus. So, therefore, student involvement seems to be diverse. Well, there's plenty of opportunities, diverse opportunities. However, it says here that the student involvement, although it is successful, based on the responses, students feel like there should be more organizations to choose from. This represents a big portion of the student interactions in the making of the discourse ecology and its network. The more interactions, the stronger and more active it will become. Although the graph shows that UTRGV is successful at giving students opportunities for interaction, there is still work to do about more diversity in student life. Following the question, which of the following best defines the Edinburgh campus when it comes to student involvement? Edinburgh represents a more stable network. It shows how students feel they have diversity and opportunities to feel part of an institution's student life. We can see it here. The majority of the 50 responses feel like there are more opportunities to get involved with an organization in campus, and that there is student involvement successful, and that organizations are diverse. On question number 6, which of the following best defines Brownsville campus when it comes to academics? So, for Brownsville, it shows how one of the most important, if not the most important aspect of UTRGV student experience shows that it needs more improvement. It shows that the campus only offers certain classes or some majors, and that Brownsville campus, although it does satisfy academic expectations, it doesn't have a lot of variety in its classes. Therefore, although it satisfies a considerable amount of students, it still lacks diversity when it comes to classes. Comparing to Edinburgh, which of the following best describes or defines the Edinburgh campus when it comes to academics? Again, it shows a more stable environment for the network of student interactions to thrive. It offers variety. However, for the survey respondents, it also shows that the number of respondents are not so satisfied with Edinburgh campus when it comes to academic expectations. And when we compare it to the amount of responses that feel that the Brownsville campus satisfies academic expectations, we can see that Brownsville satisfies academic expectations of students more than what it does to Edinburgh. So that is interesting to find that right here. Following, Brownsville has a higher academic satisfaction than Edinburgh. So, like I said, it's interesting to know about this. So this question in particular, what option best represents one aspect of UTRGV that you would like to see improvement? We can tie this to the to the question that we just saw. Having in mind that how students feel about their respective campus, it seems that overall the number of respondents agree that the majority of respondents agree that UTRGV should improve academic satisfaction as well as administration, and surprisingly, they should improve the food court. This isn't surprising to know. It also shows aspects of the UTRGV ecology discourse that are weak, and that students feel they should be improved. As question number 9, how do you feel about UTRGV having 2 campuses? So, students here, luckily UTRGV, according to the graphs, shows how student enjoys the duality of the institution, meaning having 2 campuses does not affect student interactions on a big picture, of course. The students still find it possible to share their experiences with each other. Then it should be concluded, to an extent, that students base their interactions on the difference and benefits of having 2 campuses. And as the last question, how do you feel about UTRGV's student interaction between both campuses? This was also an open-ended response. Overall, students feel that they are divided. However, there are being efforts to bring the 2 campuses together, and they feel like it is a work in progress. Like I said, universities have this characteristic of having 2 campuses and still having some kind of a strong interaction between the students. Student efforts to strengthen the discourse ecology. For example, some of the examples that I found, where we can see this interaction reflected, are the UTRGV Facebook page, orientation and club affairs. Orientation is mostly for new students, which helps them to feel involved with the university. Socials or organizations, the UTRGV Rec Center, which is also shared with TSC. Athletics, the shuttle system, especially because it's the main service that the university provides to connect these 2 different branches of the same institution. Mentoring and tutoring programs as well, and cultural acceptance, which is seen throughout the RGV Valley in general. As a conclusion, the UTRGV's discourse ecology is diverse. Edinburgh and Brownsville constitute the networks of students. This ecology discourse is new relatively, and there is still a long way to go to strengthen interaction between students. Thank you. Oh, we're excited. Thank you.